Hey guys! The following is a list of the 5 worst things that have ever happened to me. I figure, I'll get them out there in the open, set them on the table, so that we can knock them on the floor and sweep them under the rug later. That's right, we're starting the new year off with our foot that has the toe that faces the wrong way, which we're gonna call our best foot forward. That's right, I have a toe that doesn't face the right way. I know it's hot, but I need you to put that away. I know what some of you do to my videos, so if you could just, I'm trying to talk to you, look me in the eyes. So without mentioning the multiple times that I've had people walk in while I was in the act of doing something that would make even Jesus crawl back into his Easter cave, let's talk about some stuff. These are the 5 worst things that have ever happened to me, that have stuck with me for my whole life, and none of them are this picture right here, which is a bad picture. I found it and I don't know what I was doing. I just hope I wasn't being serious. I probably was though. So it was my birthday and I was in Montreal at the bus station waiting for my friend to come pick me up. And now that I have set the feel of this story, I'm gonna hit you with it. I was minding my own business, sitting by myself, when this guy, who was more like a ninja, living in the shadows, fighting, evil spirits to save his family, saunters up to me like one of the putties from Power Rangers. I would say if this guy was a musical genre, he would be Old Man Farts with a hint of 80s saxophone. They would have to make that up because it does not exist as far as I know. We go through the whole rigmarole of, him asking me for change, me telling him I don't have any, his response being pulling up his shirt to reveal to me this, what I can only describe as a great big mess. It was like a muffin top from hell. He had the biggest, gapiest sore that looked like Krang from the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon if Krang was a disgusting, gapy sore. It was like there was an alien inside his body that tried to escape through his muffin top. I don't know if this was sort of his way of trying to convince me to give him money, but that would not work in any other situation. You gonna eat your peas? Well, how about now? Oh, do you have a moment to talk about the Lord Jesus Christ? No? Well, how about now? Excuse me, can you help me find the chickpeas? Oh, you don't work here. Well, how about now? So after he did that, we had sort of like this epic stare down, like Shogun warriors, for about 2 minutes, before he just turned around and left. This next one involves a story about a bus. So it's late one night and I'm riding the bus alone, like I like to do. It's just me and the bus driver, doing the usual awkward silence, nobody's talking to nobody. It's just me and the bus driver. We're just sitting there, we're sitting in silence. You're not supposed to even talk to the bus driver. It's just an awkward silence that everybody just respects. We make a stop, and this lady strolls on with a stroller, as is the recommended use, and she sits down, and we continue our silence. It's a respectable silence. Nobody's talking. Until we get downtown, when this lady stands up out of her seat and yells, "Oh my God!" It turns out she had seen somebody off the side of the bus that she needed to have her conversation with right this second. So she pushes her stroller to the back of the bus where there's doors. Mind you, these doors are not big enough for a stroller to get through. So after watching her struggle with her stroller to try and get it through the door, I sat there and I watched the door close on the stroller. And I say that I sat there and watched it because, I figured she was one of those single independent women and she don't need no man. Like the kind of people Beyonce talks about. So I sat there and watched her wrestle with her stroller to try and free it from the doors. I mean, this was a performance just for me. Just for me. I was given a gift. There was nobody else on the bus, and if I had had a plate with like some turkey and potatoes and maybe some veggies, it would have been dinner and a show. The finale of the show being when she twisted her stroller, sending her baby hurtling to the ground. Yeah, whatever was in her stroller fell onto the pavement. And because I didn't help this lady, she probably went home with a broken baby. I watched it fall out of the stroller and onto the pavement. It probably bounced. And then the doors closed and the bus drove away. Oh, we're not out of the woods yet. That last story kind of leads into this story. It's like a segue, but not really. So I was downtown doing whatever with some person, and I saw one of those billboard trucks with an advert on the side of it, which appeared to be for jam on toast. And my next thought was, ooh, jam on toast. Food. And I pointed at the truck, and I said, "That's making me hungry." But as that truck pulled closer, the picture became clearer, and reality set in that was not jam on toast. It was an aborted fetus being held in a hand in a rubber glove. The Rights to Life Association, who apparently has a lot of pictures of aborted fetuses for an association who's trying to scare people away from aborted fetuses, had hired this truck to drive around and frighten people. So I pointed at that truck and I said to the girl I was with, "That's making me hungry." That fetus in the hand with the rubber glove gave me the munchies, which is probably one of the worst things that I have ever said. But I guess the worst part of the story is, after that happened, we went to lunch. Hey, an aborted fetus ain't gonna keep me from pierogies. This next story is a great example of friends just trying to help you out. But before I tell it, I should probably tell you, I'm the kind of person who's a little conscious of my bowels. If I haven't gone in a day or two, I don't like to do much. I like to try and get that taken care of. So anyway, I was staying at my friend's house in California, and we had decided that we would take a road trip to Las Vegas. And I had not gone to the bathroom for a day or two, so I figured, to try and avoid having to do that on the road, we would get some laxatives and we would just take care of it. My friend suggested Citromag, and if you don't know what that is, it's what they give you to drink before you have a colonoscopy, so you'll be clean. Oh, just take it, you'll be fine, nothing will hurt, I've had it before. He lied right to my face. After I drank it, I exploded for like 4 hours, and I figured, that's it, I'm out of the storm. But because this is my list of the worst things that have ever happened to me, you should know I was only in the eye of the storm. Because we thought everything was done, we ended up going to the mall, and because this is my list of horrible things that have ever happened, I end up running to the public bathroom in the lesser nice part of LA, where it was completely crowded. I get into a bathroom stall, and before I have time to touch my, butt cheeks to the toilet, I make a mess. The only way I can accurately describe what had happened was, it looked like 2 grizzly bears had gotten into a fight over a bottle of chocolate syrup. So I tried my best to clean up what we'll call ground zero, and I didn't want to take too long, because I didn't want people to be suspicious that I might be doing something less than appropriate in the bathroom. So I sort of ninja my way out of the stall and around the corner before anybody actually saw what had happened. To the janitor who might have worked at that mall and saw what I had done, I tried my best. So this last story I'm going to assault you with happened when I was a young lad. And no, this isn't the story of how I cut myself on a chain link fence by the groin. It was the 90s and I was in grade 1, and overalls, well, they were the thing to be wearing. If you were a kid, you were in overalls. So because I was so young, I didn't quite grasp the concept of just pulling it through the fly. So when I went to the bathroom, I had to take off the whole front part of the overall, which caused a slight issue. One day I was going to the bathroom, I was taking a whiz, I was peeing, and I had a miscalculation. My math was a little bad, and my trajectory was a little off. What I'm trying to say is I peed all over the front of my overalls. This is something that has only happened to me that I know of. And because I was in grade 1, I had to be like a ninja about this. A ninja who had peed all over the front of his overalls. I would sit really close to my desk, or I'd, put a book in my lap, or I would sort of stand facing the wall if I had to do something, which was a little more sneaky than the kid who would pee all over the front of his shirt and just tuck the front of his shirt in his pants. But eventually, my plan was foiled, and people did find out what had happened. The whole class laughed at me for the entire day, and I swore I would get my revenge. I never did, but I swore I would. So I hope you guys all had a good laugh at my pain. And if you've had anything horrible happen to you and you want to make a list and maybe leave it in the comments or do your own video like this, I wouldn't stop you. So leave a comment below of something awful that has happened to you, and the crew 124 will bond together over our horribly awkward tragedies that have befallen us. And I will see you guys on Friday.